folks at Mercedes-Benz have a lot of amazing things to say about the EQB. Yes, the E stands for EV. One of them is that this seats 7. All right, we're gonna look at that and a whole lot more.
Like any good binge-worthy show, I'm gonna go back a little and talk about other stuff first. Like, how about range? This one, the 350 4MATIC, gets about 227 miles. Mercedes assures us that a long-range version is said to be forthcoming.
What about charging times? Those are super important. With a level 2 charger, which is the kind you'll probably have at home, you're looking at a full charge in about 7 hours and 45 minutes. If you're using a DC fast charger, you can go from 0 to 80% of a charge in about 30 minutes. That's decent. If you buy a new EQB, Mercedes is going to give you a year of free charging. Some dealerships will give you 2 years of free charging. Speaking of dealerships, want a fair purchase price on an EQB? Check out the link above.
It's called a Camry, everybody. Click that link.
Gosh. We're so lucky.
4MATIC, of course, means power at 4 corners. There will be a front-wheel drive version also coming, but for the time being, rest assured in your having the safety and stability of all-wheel drive.
And stable it is. The ride is very Mercedes-esque, a bit luxurious, very comfortable, and very stable around corners and turns, even though the stance of the EQB is pretty upright.
There are 2 options when it comes to powertrains on the EQB, the 300 or the more powerful 350. Those are some substantial numbers for a compact crossover, but just remember that this little compact baby weighs in at 4,700 pounds. It's a big baby. In spite of that weight, at least in the 350, which is what I'm driving, woo-wee, this thing is a little rocket.
The regenerative braking is modulated through the different modes. So there's eco, there's comfort, and there's sport. And as you can imagine, you're in eco mode, you definitely have more of a regenerative braking feel to it. You pull off the throttle and you already start to slow down, and then you put yourself into sport mode and you definitely feel a more throttle response. And when you lift off, I really don't get a whole lot of pull on the brakes. So, I mean, I think Mercedes has done a nice job. Certainly each one of those modes is very distinctive feeling and different. The steering is fine. It doesn't feel too terribly light. It is a little bit dead on center. You know, of course, there's really no feedback, and it's not a terribly sort of exciting or connected feel. But you know, it's precise enough, and it turns you where you want to go, and that's pretty much what you need it to do. I'm really impressed by the visibility in here. You know, again, because of its upright stance, there's plenty of windows. You can definitely see out of it, which is pretty crucial. Yeah, not too bad.
There are paddle shifters on the steering wheel to further enhance or reduce the brake regen in each particular drive mode. The nav system in here is pretty sophisticated and integrates into the range part of the EQB program. It can help you maximize your range with route selection, including charge station locations, and it also takes into account elevation changes and traffic, so you get a more accurate bead on your true range. I wonder if Apple CarPlay or Android Auto will ever be able to do that. Maybe, but those are standard if you prefer using them.
Let's get into the interior for a second. I love it. This is the business. Nobody does interiors like the M word. I can't say the word because she'll start talking, and I'm not ready for her to start talking yet. But there's a great setup in here. Gosh, I love these vents. I think they're fantastic. Plenty of buttons for you to do things, as well as a touch screen. I mean, look at how much you have here. It's really fantastic. You also, in addition to the touch screen, have this touch pad here, where if you don't want to reach up here, you can just sort of do everything down here. And it, of course, has the MBUX system, where you just say, "Hey, Mercedes,
how may I help you?
What do you think of KBB videos?"
I'm a software application. We don't really have opinions.
Okay, well, you can if you subscribe to the KBB YouTube channel.
And now, for what you've been waiting for.
Seating for 7? Okay, let's start up here. I mean, I got headroom galore. Like, you could probably fit another person up on top of me. So it's great here. I'm gonna sneak into the second row and we'll see what that is like. Behind my seating position, you're gonna have just oodles and oodles of room, which is absolutely fantastic. There's a slider back here for obvious reasons, whatever's back there. But let's look back there, because while the third row is optional, Mercedes didn't give me one that had the optional third row. And I'm thinking there's a reason for that, because guys, I don't know that there's actually room back here for a second, for like a person. Like, I'm supposed to fit someone who's 5'4". I'm 5'4". Okay, so you see there's like an indent in the roof right here. So you might have a little headroom, but look, this is, as far as the seat goes back, Mercedes is freaking out up there. Everyone's freaking out. I don't know. I'm not convinced. If there's a seat back here, there's no cargo space. I'm not into it. I feel like this is a no.
When it comes to the exterior, I'm gonna say it looks nice. There's nothing truly standout about it. I still do miss the previous generation GLA, which to me was distinctive. This has all the characteristics of a compact SUV, but the problem is so does every other compact SUV.
There are some things here that Mercedes has done that I really like. There's a contiguous light here that connects the taillights, same up front with the headlights. There are those sort of telltale EV cues, the blue here, the blue on the badging. I also like the fact that it is a fairly kind of upright looking SUV, but you guys, I'm not feeling like it's truly remarkable. And if I'm buying a Mercedes, I really want it to be remarkable.
Especially when pricing starts at $54,500 for the base 300 and $58,050 for the higher powered 350. But that starting price is lower than the Tesla Model Y, so there's that. Also, it's worth noting that because of the new regulations, the EQB does not qualify for the federal EV tax credit because it's made in Hungary. The base premium trim includes standard luxuries such as power front seats and tailgate, dual climate controls, 10.25-inch displays for the driver's function and infotainment, rain-sensing wipers, and a ton of USB-C ports. When you get up into the exclusive trim, you're getting massaging seats, that's quite a perk, 4-zone climate control with a fragrance ionizing purifier, with all the other bells and whistles that Mercedes offers on the premium. The top Pinnacle trim adds indulgences like a panoramic sunroof, Burmeister surround sound system, and a multi-camera surround view system to check what's happening around you. Ooh, and a hands-free power liftgate.
If you're cross-shopping, you've got more options than ever these days.
Look no further than the Genesis GV60, Audi Q4 e-tron, Tesla Model Y, and the Volvo XC40 Recharge.
Great power, solid range and charging times, a slick interior, and okay, fine, I will say it, room for 7. Look, if you are dipping your toe into the luxury EV crossover space, then yes, the Mercedes-Benz EQB better be on your list.